Hello everyone. In this series of videos, we are going to talk about agents. How do you develop agents on an open source framework by Google known as Agent Development Kit, and then deploy these agents on Agents Engine or even a cloud run on Google Cloud Platform. Please follow the series to understand how agent to agent interaction happens through A to A, or if you are trying to get data from a legacy application or a database which does not support agents out of the box, you could use MCP servers, which is Model Context Protocol. Having said that, let's kick off this session. So in this, you're going to look at what is an agent. A chatbot is great, right? But what we really need is reasoning, planning, and memory. A GenAI agent is an agent driven by large language models in order to achieve a specific goal. For instance, if you want to book a ticket, a flight to Paris, a vacation to Paris, you want to book a ticket, you want to book hotels, and you want to book a rental car. Now, an agent is clever enough to understand the dates of the booking and how many people you are traveling, which class, economy, first class, or business, and how many days you want to stay. For example, if I'm going to book a ticket from September the 1st to September the 6th for my trip, and I want to also prompt the agent to find a cheaper tickets, I'm flexible with dates. So instead of booking from September 1st to September 6th, it's going to book from August 31st to September 5th. Now, when you book a hotel, in your initial prompt, you still have September 1 to September 6. An agent needs to pass the state of the question to understand if the flight is booked from August 31st. In this instance, the hotel needs to be booked from the same date. And then so is the rental car. So all these agents, hotel, airline, hotel, and rental car, need to interact with each other, have an orchestration agent in order to perform a task. So an agent in particular has an orchestration mechanism. You orchestrate, you pass information from one agent to another agent. You connect to tools like Google Flight APIs or hotel search APIs or different websites which gives you those information. Those are tools. And then for an interaction in this case, you need a chatbot. But all agents do not need a chatbot. You can have an agent for automation of tasks that you do on a daily basis for your employees to help improve productivity and efficiency. So in general, applications or the software pieces which can help you perform a task, set of tasks driven by LLMs have memory, planning, and reasoning capabilities, and then ability to talk, interact with applications, third-party applications through APIs or MCP servers, which we're going to discuss about that. It has to be connected to your data, your internal APIs. It has to be grounded with your proprietary information. It should be able to orchestrate, and then you can have specific use cases with guardrails. An agent very soon would become or has already started to become a very integral part of the software development lifecycle. And therefore, this video series is based on understanding how to make sure you know how to create an agent, have a control over the agents, and then have a governance model in your organization to run these agents. Now, back in last year, Sundar Pichai mentioned that agents are described as intelligent systems that show reasoning, planning, and memory. And they should be able to think multiple steps ahead. They should have an ability to work across softwares, across programs. That was the vision said a couple of years ago. Now let's talk about Google ADK. I'm going to introduce multiple terms which are going to get clearer in the next videos of the series. So the first one is Agent Development Kit. Agent Development Kit is a flexible framework. It's an open source. You would see source at the bottom of the screen. You could go to google.github.io, ADK docs. It's an open source framework to help you build agents using generative AI tools. The good thing is, because it's open source, you are not bounded by a model. You don't have to necessarily use Google's Gemini models or Google ecosystem. You can use this framework to create, develop, deploy agents on any other infrastructure using any models like Llama, Claude, or even OpenAI's models. You're not bounded by any tools or any product. So what is an ADK? Okay, so this is going to be a software-based, developer-based video series. So you need to know a little bit of Python. An agent development kit is a package that is available for you to consume, I know, at least in Python. Now, you would need a root underscore agent to create. We're going to come back to these details in the next series, but this is how an agent development kit is written. It is supported on any IDE of your choice, Visual Studio Code, Spider, or anything of your choice. Now, in order to build those agents, you would need sub-agents. Remember, hotel, airline, or airline, hotel, and rental cars. You need these sub-agents, and you have a root agent that controls that orchestration. So in this example, you have a research agent, which is a sub-agent of a root agent, and the research agent has access to Google APIs. Now, so you build agents, you create, develop agents on Google ADK using that framework, Agent Development Kit. There are lots of other frameworks in the market, like LangGraph, great framework, Crew AI, AG2, and other open source frameworks. You can develop an agent on any of these platforms. Look at the top. On the top, you have ADK, LangGraph, LangChain, Crew AI, any agentic framework. You have an option to deploy this agent on a Google Cloud platform, a fully managed service known as an Agent Engine. An Agent Engine supports all the open source frameworks which are available today, and obviously we continue to expand. And then you are able to have one single platform for developing or managing the agents, running, executing your agents. An agent can be sitting in Salesforce, let's say Agentforce agent, or an agent can be sitting on any other third-party cloud. You can have that communication between the agents using agent-to-agent protocol, which I'm going to tell you and show it to you in one of the videos coming in the series. You are now looking at, on the left-hand side, you are able to register. You need to let somebody know that, hey, there is an agent out there, you need to talk to this agent. So you have agent space, optional, but you have an agent space from Google to be able to maintain those agents. In our series, we are not going to just depend on agent space. We are going to also look at UI, open source custom app UIs in order to consume those agents out of Agent Engine. What Agent Engine provides you is managed session, memory, code execution, as well as tracing, evaluation, as well as monitoring and logging facility. So we're going to talk about, this is the ecosystem where we're going to work. In the next series of videos, we're going to use ADK to develop an agent. deploy those agents on Agent Engine, and then consume those agents of Agentspace or from a custom app, or both. All right, so we're going to talk about ADK deep dive, a tool that represents a specific capability that are provided to an AI agent to perform an action right here. For example, what is the weather in New York? A weather agent goes and calls for the current time as well as the weather, and then formulates the results, processes the results, and shows it to the end user. So again, it's very important for all of us to understand that there are series of steps that an agent needs to do in order to reach to a goal. Now, these steps can be in series, can be in parallel, can be loop. There are different types of agents which we are going to discuss in the days to come or videos to come. Now, let's build it up. Let's say that you want to build an agent from scratch using lower level APIs or LLM calls. Function calling is an ability to call an API or a third-party service, or even a storage service. You can build those agents for sure. Now, you're also able to have extractions, let's say first level extractions on LangChain or some other programming framework in order for you to build agents faster. Then you have next layer of abstraction specifically to create agents, like using frameworks like LangGraph. LangGraph is a good example of this, right? Where you can build agents, graphs to design your agentic workflows. It's one level of abstraction higher than LangGraph, as you can see, level 2 level extraction. Writing your own React reasoning, and you have to do many things by yourself using LangGraph. And therefore, we have layer 3 extraction framework like True AI or even Google ADK framework. The next level extraction performs a lot of things that you need to do by yourself as out of the box functionality like session management, state management. We will see all of this in our sessions to come. At the end of the day, it is your choice, your comfortness, and any framework that you pick and choose, you are able to have mix and match of different frameworks in order to build what you are looking to build. And at the end of the day, I keep mentioning you can use low code, no code platforms like Google provides AI application, conversational agents, no code, low code platform to build agents. Now, today's we are living in a multi-agentic world. As I mentioned, you have an agent in Salesforce or ServiceNow or any other third-party cloud. How do we make sure that these agents can talk, speak, communicate with one another? And therefore, Google have created an open source framework known as A2A, which is agents to agent communication, in order to ensure that you are able to connect and talk to agents. I'll give you an example. An example of agent to agent communication is in your organization, you can have only one agent that does all the authorization or authentication. And then you can create multiple agents around it, talk to these agents only for authentication tokens. So this authorization agent's job is to authorize any call from any agent and be that microservice that can be used. A2A protocol was developed, and we will use a lot of examples with A2A protocols, wherein you're going to develop an agent in True AI or LangGraph, and then interact with a root agent built in ADK on different platforms. You would see that in this series of learning tutorials. Next, let me also talk about MCP servers. So let's take a look at this graph or diagram. On the left-hand side, you have this agent, our agent that we built on ADK. Let's assume that you have an agent 1 that does the authorization or authentication for you. So whoever logs in, you get a token that can help you navigate through the systems, your internal systems. You have agent 2 that interacts with Salesforce. Let's say the agent is built in Agentforce. Your agent, which you are creating to run through a goal, or for example, find out a customer from Salesforce, you are able to utilize these two agents using A2A protocol, agent to agent communication, agent to agent protocol. Now, there could be a lot of legacy applications like Java based applications or React based applications or any other applications which do not support agents out of the box. Salesforce supports agents out of the box. There are a lot of other agents on ServiceNow or any other SaaS services. But what if you have a homegrown application or maybe a database on MySQL or Postgres? Those databases and applications do not support agents out of the box, agent communications out of the box. There are two options. Number one is you expose APIs and have agents do the function calling. I have explained function calling in one of my previous videos. The new method or one of the alternative approaches is to have MCP server, Model Context Protocol, MCP server in front of those legacy applications and databases. When you own or when the source system owns an MCP server, you are able to communicate with agents. So agents can connect with MCP server to get the information they need from those applications which do not support agents, agentic out of the box. We will discuss more on both A2A and MCP during our video series. So let's talk about how and what a development flow looks like. I want you to get started on this one. So in order to develop these agents, we are going to use IDE. As I said, ADK, Google ADK supported on any IDE. I'm going to use Visual Studio Code. You can pick and choose any IDE. Next, we're going to test the agent. Without having to go to the cloud, I can test those agents using a command known as ADK web. We are going to show you in the series, show you how ADK web works and how you can create agents using ADK, test agents using ADK webs. So now the dev is done using IDE. Don't have to go to cloud, use ADK web, you tested it locally. Next, I can deploy this agent on Agent Engine. Agent Engine is a managed service which lets you run or deploy agents on it. And then you can consume those agents using a custom app or a service or Agentspace. And I'm going to have a separate video dedicated for Agentspace very soon. And then, you can consume those agents. Now, all of the code which I'm going to be using as part of this session is available on this GitHub repository. You can git clone and make sure you keep updated on the new code that I start pushing to Git. Now, so this is what we are going to do, and I'm going to walk you through in detail in the future sessions as well. We are going to create a root agent. Remember, ADK needs a root agent. We are going to use tools and sub-agents depending upon the goals which we are trying to achieve. A2As, MCPs, all would be covered in this session or series of videos. And then this is the folder structure. You have the parent folder, and underneath the parent folder, you will have a multi-tool agent. And within that, you will have an agent.py, and we will also maintain .env. So for most of the videos, depending upon where we are going with it, for most of the examples, most of the use cases that we are going to discuss, we're going to maintain a similar folder structure. Use local IDE if you want to use Google Colab or any other, like you can also use the VM on Google itself or GCP or anywhere you want to use. Please feel free to use this. And then we are going to deploy using Python script. and register the agent on Agentspace optional, but we will definitely use a custom UI to do that. So I'm looking forward for having you on this journey of learning ADK and maintaining the entire agentic lifecycle. Thank you for listening.